हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानादिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। We'll continue what Prabhupada's comments on this verse. So here we are hearing that Lord is pained because of what he heard from Hiranyaksha, because his devotees are affected. And Prabhupada gives very nice purport how the Mayavadis philosophers cannot understand that Lord has feelings. The Lord is satisfied if someone offers him nice prayers, and similarly, if someone decries his existence or calls him ill by ill names, God is dissatisfied. Very important for us. So when we go in front of Lord, we should offer prayers. We should praise Him. We should appreciate Him, or we should hear about Him. If we are not able to praise, we should hear others praising Him. Even that will please the Lord, because we may say, "Oh, I cannot remember prayers, or I cannot offer prayers." And conditioned nature is so strong. Even if you have ability to offer prayers and remember, but the mind does not cooperate, or intelligence don't cooperate, then what we can do, we can hear others doing prayers. That also will satisfy the Lord, because our mind is appreciating in that way by hearing the prayers. So that is why Lord has feelings. Means the deities in your house, or the photos of deities in your house also have feelings, right? We have to understand these things, and then accordingly we should try to reciprocate with the Lord from our side. Lord also reciprocates. This is Prabhupada writes on this. The personality of God is, they say that God has no head, no form, no existence, no legs, no hands. In other words, they say he is dead. So this is the problem with all this Mayavadis and impersonalists. But here we can see that Lord is not what they think. He's a proper person, and he is having feelings, and he wants us to express our feelings. That is very important. That's how relationship is. We should be emotionally sensitive. The people, they say we are straightforward. No, no. That is not actually correct. We should have that sensitivity. Lord likes that. And in this case, although the Lord felt sorry for the piercing words of the demons, he delivered the earth for the satisfaction of demigods who are ever his devotees. The conclusion is that Lord is a sentient as we are. He is satisfied by our prayers and dissatisfied by our harsh words against him. In order to give protection to his devotees, always ready to tolerate insulting words from the atheists. And then the demon who had golden hair on his head and fearful tusks gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water, even as an alligator would chase an elephant. Roaring like thunder, he said, "Are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? There's nothing reproachable for shameless creatures." And Prabhupada writes, when the Lord was coming out of water, taking the earth in his arms to deliver it, the demon derided him with insulting words, but the Lord did not care, because he was very conscious of his duty. Prabhupada writes, for a dutiful man, there is nothing to fear. This is very important. For a beautiful man, there is nothing to fear because he is in mode of goodness. Similarly, those who are powerful have no fear or derision or unkind words from an enemy. The Lord has nothing to fear from anyone, yet he is merciful to his enemy by neglecting him. Although apparently he felt from the challenge, he fled from the challenge. It was just to protect the earth from the calamity that he tolerated Hiranyaksha's deriding words. This is the point. He, he just ran away. It looks like that. He didn't care. The Lord placed the earth within his sight on the surface of water, transferred to her his own energy in the form of ability to float. While the enemy stood looking on, Brahma, the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, other demigods rained flowers on him. Now, Prabhupada says, those who are demons cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead floated the earth on water. But to devotees of the Lord, this is not a very wonderful act. Not only the earth, but many, many millions of planets are floating in the air, and this floating power is endowed upon them by the Lord. This is not, this is no, there is no other possible explanation. The materialistic can explain the planets are floating by law of gravitation, but the law of gravitation works under the control or direction of the Supreme Lord. That is the version of Bhagavad Gita which confirms by the Lord's statement that behind the material laws are nature's law, and behind the growth, maintenance, production, and evolution of all planetary systems, behind everything is the Lord's direction. Maya Tikshena Prakriti. Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Konteya Jagat Viparivartate. So what Prabhupada wants us to understand from this point is that behind whatever is happening, the maintenance and all the universes, is the energy of Lord that is working. The Lord's activities could be appreciated only by demigods, headed by Brahma, and therefore they saw the uncommon powers of the Lord in keeping the earth on the surface of water. So they are able to see that miracle of the Lord. Because of their devotion, they are able to appreciate how special is. Like the Avadut Brahman, he is learning everything from the different gurus he has 24. In the lecture, Radhanand Maharaj says that every activity that is happening in the nature, it's a great wonder. If you have ability to look, we can see even the birds, they are chirping. It can, that voice goes till 2 miles also. And the point is, it's such a small loudspeaker in its throat, and the size of the bird is so small. It can make voice for so long. This coil, if you see, it goes so long, and it is such a small speaker. And here we are putting big, big speakers, and we are trying to make sound. Who kept that sound system in the throat of the bird? And he said, even raising the sun rays, how it is coming, beautiful colors, the rainbow, the beautiful colors. Everything we see, such a miracle happening every day. Because it happens every day, we take it for granted. We don't observe the nature and see the greatness. But if somebody is understanding, they'll see, wow, such a system he created. We are surprised, like in Priyavrत section also, Prabhupada writes, we are proud that we made some bridges, we made some skyscraper buildings, some big highways and all. But Priyavrat Maharaj, he actually made an alternative sun with his chariot. Not only that, he created 7 oceans, 7 islands, because he went in his chariot. The wheels of the chariot created some crushed holes and they found oceans. He didn't create some dams or some what is say water bodies. which accumulate rainwater. Government sometimes does, or some farm people, farm communities, they create some big lake they try to create. But he didn't create any lake, he created oceans. And then after that, he tells to the Lord, my dear Lord, I am such a foolish person. I am just proud and all. So Prabhupada says that, see, he did so much and he's feeling so humble. He says, I just wasted my time. Now, because what Lord created in front of him, it's nothing. He can create universes and all these night stars and also wonderful thing. But we'll be able to appreciate when we closely observe, oh, this is Lord is doing, and we'll develop so much love and appreciation for the Lord. So here, Lord's activity could be appreciated only by demigods. Only by demigods. Why? Because they're able to have the devotional part. That's why they're able to appreciate. No amount of goodness is needed. The demon, who had a wealth of ornaments, bangles, and beautiful golden armor on his body, chased the Lord from behind with a great mace. The Lord tolerated his piercing ill words. But in order to reply to him, he expressed his terrible anger. Prabhupada is saying the Lord could have chastised the demon immediately while the demon was deriding the Lord with ill words, but the Lord tolerated him to please the demigods and to show that they should not be afraid of demons while discharging their duties. So this is applicable for us also. We have to perform our duties. We should not be afraid of any opposing elements that are that are there. We should tolerate, and we should know that Lord is going to protect. Therefore, his toleration was displayed mainly to drive away the fears of the demigods, who should know that the Lord is always present to protect them. The demons' derision of the Lord was just like barking of dogs. The Lord did not care about it, since he was doing his own work in delivering the earth from the midst of water. Materialistic demons always possess large amount of golds in various shapes, and they think that large amount of gold, physical strength, and popularity can save them from the wrath of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is very interesting. Demons, they have large amount of gold. They think that this large amount and physical strength and popularity can save them from their demons. They think with my strength I can overcome, with my popularity, with my things. All these politicians, they're demons only, most of them. They think with their power they can save themselves, they can save the country. They will go, their country will go, nothing will remain in this world. But this is just false ego, and they fight. So many wars are happening in this world. They're all demons only. So many big politicians in this world. They all have this demonic mentality. Very wrong mentality they have. And they try to protect their nation, but how? At the cost of other nations. I think let them go only for very, because of Vedic culture, maybe very few countries who have some very good culture, they want prosperity of every nation. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudha means earth. So whole earth is one family. Vasudha, Vasudhaiva. It is Vasudha means earth. So a whole earth is Kutumbakam. That is only from Vedic culture. But otherwise, all these world leaders, many of them, they to protect their nation, they kill others. Finish Israel or war, Ukraine war, and any other. So many wars that are happening. So one country trying to either economically trying to exploit, or they're trying to politically, or they're trying to with the military. So many ways they are trying to exploit other things, other nations. This is all demonic mentality. And they think with their power they can protect themselves. But no, they are doing so many sinful activities. Their power, strength, and all, nothing will come to their aid. They are going to go to very, very dark regions of this universe. The personality of God had said, indeed, we are creatures of the jungle, and we are searching after hunting dogs like you. Now the Lord is responding. One who is free from the entanglement of death has no fear on the loose talks in which you are indulged, for you are bound up by the laws of death. This is a very important point also. Lord says, one who is freed from the entanglement of death and no fear from the loose talks in which you are indulged. Many people they criticize, but devotees they should not bother about it. Demons and atheist persons can go on insulting the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they forget that they are subjected to the laws of birth and death. They think that simply by declaring the existence of Supreme Lord or defying his stringent laws of nature, one can be free from the clutches of birth and death. So at last, they may win every time they are becoming popular, they are getting money, they are getting strength, they are getting fame, they are getting so many things. But one can know the stringent laws of nature, one can be free from birth. They cannot be free from the birth and death. They think they are free, but they cannot. Birth and death are going to come for them. So at last they will be defeated. Parabhavasthavadabhaga. They look like they are winning. When Hiranyaksha looked like winning, even Varuna could not do anything. And he was winning on everybody. And he was so much, he's got so much itching that nobody is able to do anything to me. But very simple. Lord comes, finishes. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that simply by understanding the transcendental nature of God, one can go back home, back to Godhead. Demons and atheistic persons do not try to understand the nature of Supreme Lord. Therefore, they remain in the entanglement of birth and death. This is what actually happens. So now there are so many successful people. They were 100 years back. When Britishers came, they were ruling. What happened to all these big generals who controlled the country? What happened to the Mughal kings who were controlling the country? What happens to previously there were Tughlaqs and before that there were so many kings within India also. They were trying, but nothing works. You have to go. Certainly, we have stolen the charge of inhabitants of Rasatala and have lost all shame. Although bitten by your powerful mace, I shall stay here in water for some time because having created enmity with a powerful enemy, I have no place to go. The Lord is telling, oh, I don't, what can I do? I don't have option now. Prabhupada, right? The demons should have known that God cannot be driven out of any place. For he is all pervading. Demons think of their possessions as their property, but actually everything belongs to Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can take anything at any time, like he talks, he likes. This is not possible only. We come, stay for some time, put a boundary, put a flag, and then we say this is ours. And after we go, somebody else will come put their flag, finish. And but still, what happens? The intelligence don't is not sufficient for the living entities. They don't understand. They get bewildered very easily, and that's actually what happens in these situations. You are possessed by the commanders of many foot soldiers. Sorry, you are supposed to be the commander of many foot soldiers, and now you may take prompt steps to overthrow us. Give up all your foolish talks and wipe out the cares of your kin and kin by slaying us. One may be proud, yet he does not deserve a seat in an assembly if he fails to fulfill his promised words. Prabhupada said, demon may be great soldiers and commander of a large army of infantry, but in the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is powerless and is destined to die. The Lord therefore challenged the demon not to go away, but to fulfill his promise, words to kill him. The Lord is telling, okay, okay, you also don't run away. I will not go because I don't have any place to go because I have created immunity with such a demon like you. Or from your side also, you also supposed to stay here and fight because you have promised. One who has promised and does not fulfill is not deserved a seat in assembly. And if he fails to fulfill his promised words, so better you also don't run away. I will also not do, you also don't. Then Maitreya said, the demon being thus challenged with the personality award became angry and agitated, and he trembled in anger like a challenged cobra. The fight starts. A cobra is a very fierce before ordinary persons, but before an enchanter who can play with him, he is a plaything. Similarly, a demon may be very powerful in his own domain, but before the Lord, he is insignificant. The demon Ravana was a fierce figure before the demigods, but when he was before Lord Ramchandra, he trembled and prayed to his deity, Lord Shiva, but to no avail. This is actually sorry. This is actually what happens to the demons. For Lord, he is only giving the strength to demons. So there is a question of fear. If the demon has to speak, the intelligence for the demon is given by the Lord. The strength for the demon is given by the Lord. And all the facilities and the situations, everything is given by the Lord only. So the Lord will be afraid of it. He only gave, he can take it back anytime. Why he gives? Because of the desire of living entity. The living entity desires to enjoy in a particular way. Lord arranges that. But later on, when Lord feels not needed, he takes it away. So that is the formula. So here, Lord, so he can play. He can play with any demon. So if the Lord, he just creates so many universe and take it back. So many demons are coming every time. Lord is having his nice time of fighting also, and Lord is having his nice time of protecting the devotees, and Lord is having nice time in establishing dharma. So it's all Leela only for Lord. Leela means only fun. It is no way any serious business. Lord wants, he will do. He does not want, he will not do. It is up to him. But of course, he works to establish dharma for protection of living entities. Because if he does not do, living entities will also start imitating the Lord and they will break dharma. Otherwise, Lord have nothing to natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. So he does not have anything to do here. But here he is doing Leela. And another thing is, it's not that Lord is not involved in it. Say if father is playing with the child, father is conscious. Oh, his child, and there is a fighting between a small child and father is doing wrestling with him, and the father tries to act like that he's getting defeated and other things, but here Lord gets involved into it because the father, when he's playing with a small child, he's conscious that he is very powerful, but when it comes to the supreme Lord, he Yogamaya helps him to forget and then fight so that Lord can experience it. And it happens all the time that Lord is covered by Yogamaya himself so that he will experience that pleasure of fighting, that pleasure of separation from Mother Sita, separation from the gopis or whatever, that the experience is needed. So Lord is taking help of his own energies who are helping him to do it. So here also the Lord is experiencing that Veera. So without the help of Yogamaya, it is not possible for Lord to experience. That is his own energy, not like he's taking shelter of somebody else. And then what Hiranyaksha did, hissing indignantly, all his senses shaken by wrath, the demon quickly sprang up the Lord and dealt him a blow with his powerful mace. So now Hiranyaksha stopped speaking. He went into action. He took a mace, started banging on Lord. The Lord, however, by moving slightly aside, dodged the violent mace blow aimed at his breast by the enemy, just as an accomplished yogi would elude death. No, here the example is given. The example is given hearing that the perfect yogi can overcome a death blow, although it is offered by the laws of nature. That means they can defy the laws of nature. They become so powerful that the soul has that energy. It cannot be controlled by the laws of nature. But because of our wrong identity, we are controlled by laws of nature. But as such, because Krishna tells that Parastas, that there is separated energy of mind. And in the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells that when he is explaining about aparayam itastu anyam prakritim vidhi me param जीवभूत महाबाहो edam dharete jagat. Krishna is telling, O mighty armed Arjuna, besides this, there is another superior energy of mind. So this is also which comprises a living entity who are exploiting the resources of material nature, inferior nature, of this material inferior nature. So Jiva is superior, but whereas the material nature is inferior. But unfortunately, what happens is now we are controlled by the inferior nature. But once we come to the platform of soul, Brahma Bhuta stage, then the laws of nature does not affect. They can be means they don't affect because as such the living entity is superior. So now also, if you don't want the laws of nature to affect, death should not come, old age should not come, disease should not come. Then we have to come to a stage of at the level of soul. The question is why apara prakriti is considered to be separated. Why Lord says like that? It belongs to Lord. Separated it means he is telling it is separated from this material nature because he before Bhumirapo Nalovayar Khammano Buddhirevacha Ahankara iti amme bhinna prakriti ashtada. So he is telling this is a nature which is bhinna prakriti. And then apart from this, so he is comparing with material nature. This is separated from material nature, not from him. So the separation is not between the Lord and living entity. He's telling it is separated from material nature. It is superior. We want to defy laws of nature. It is possible. Like now, His Holiness Japatak Swamaraj. Nobody, no scientists, no doctors, they cannot understand how he is able to survive. He is defiling the laws of nature. As such, the brain hemorrhage, what happened, it is reptile brain, that part of the brain, anybody has hemorrhage, 99% it is fatal. But Maharaj is surviving from so many years. It is decades are happening. Not only that, so much parts of his body, everything is replaced. It's a miracle. For them, it is miracle. But for he's a perfect yogi. Yogi means bhakti yogi. He can overcome the death blow, although it offered by the laws of nature. So this is the example for us. They want, they can decide. And if they feel that Lord, if that some devotees may don't want, they say, okay, we are fine, we'll go and we want to assist Prabhupada in some other place like Bhakti Maharaj or Bhaktiyar Maharaj or Gopal Krishna Maharaj. They said, no, we want to go to Prabhupada. But some Maharaj, they say, no, we want to continue. We want to do something here before going. So they have that ability to defile because they are perfect. They are at the level of soul. This principle don't apply for us also if we reach that stage. It is useless for a demon to beat the transcendental body of the Lord with a powerful ways, for no one can surpass his powers. So it's like offering garland only. It does not affect him. It does not have material body. For us, this is very important. There is something called pain. So this pain is only for this is a very special technology that Lord has given a system given for the living entities. When scientists now they cannot understand what is this pain. It's a question mark for them. Yoga explains what is pain. Yoga tells that there are nadis and then there is a flow of prana. When the prana stops flowing in a particular place, that is what is caused pain. That's why with pranayama, these yogis they can overcome all sorts of pains and diseases, everything, because they see that everything goes prana. The prana does not enter into like people get knee joint pains and back pain. Why? As the age progresses, the vayu is not properly going. That's why yoga, whoever is doing for yoga, for a long run, they will they are actually very healthy. They don't have knee joint pains and other pains. The joint pains and all is because of the prana does not go. The pain happens because of this prana and material body. Now, where is Lord's prana, material body? It's all transcendental. So there is nothing, no question of pain only. You're understanding. So pain is something which is part of material body. Those who are advanced transcendentals are freed from laws of nature, and even a death blow cannot act on them. Superficially, it may be seen that the yogi is attacked by a death blow, but by the grace of Lord, he can overcome many such attacks for the service of Lord. So this is actually what happens. As the Lord exists by his own independent powers, by the grace of Lord, the devotees also exist for his service. So Prabhupada is before only telling about Japata Rajini's purport. So the Lord exists by his independent power. And by the grace of Lord, the devotees also exist for his service. And they can decide. They don't want, they don't want. Like Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. He stayed for 150, 140 years. So he wanted to stay, so he stayed. Somebody want to live, they live. The personality of God had now exhibited his anger and rushed to meet the demons, who bit his lip in rage, took up his mace again and began to repeatedly varnish it about. So he tried his best, and the Lord also wants somebody should fight with him and experience that. And this is very interesting how the devotees they wanted to do service for the Lord, and this is also a nice service for the Lord. Because Prabhupada writes also because there is a tendency to fight in the Lord. That's why we living entities we also fight. So if this is not there, then it is Lord is incomplete. So Lord need to have all tendency. Even the desire to fight is also is makes him complete. So that he should be angry, he should fight, he should cry, he should laugh, he should laugh, he should he should experience all sorts of emotions. That's why it's Akhila Rasam. So all the rasas are there. Of course, in Vishnu and other forms, but Krishna has all. This is the desire for the Lord to enjoy. That's why we get the desire to enjoy. Because He want to fight, we will also fight. It is people think that we are superimposing our things on the Lord, but it is not like that. Lord desires are coming on to us. We are made in the image of God. Not Lord is not according to ours. Lord is first, and from Him we are coming. So our formula starts from 1 and 0. 1 0 1 0. It's not 0 1 0 1. Nothing is there, then suddenly it comes. No. That is where, so both the scientific understanding and the spiritual understanding, both have to have faith. Because scientists also, they did not see anything. They are saying creation came like this. Did they see? They did not see. They are making their speculation. That means, so what is the difference is both need faith, but but what happens? The starting point is different. So this is actually the main difference between scientist and the spiritualist. Both need faith. Like so many things scientists say, we don't do any experiment, we just believe it. Now, if you need faith in science, so why not spirituality? So both need that. But the starting point is one starts with zero and the starts with one. They say everything came from nothing. And they say Supreme Lord. So in this way, both actually are going with faith only, but the starting point is different. If we start, nothing is there, and suddenly a beautiful creation came. Very intelligent person is there, beautiful creation came. So which is more logical? So we say this is so as such. That's why if you see Bhagavad Gita, it's a very scientific presentation. You will never find anything fanatic or sentimental there. If Krishna is not telling, if you don't come to me, na, I will show you what will happen. Krishna is not like that. He is very neutral. If it's the we may say some shlokas is telling who does not surrender, Shipa Majashram Ashubham Ashri Sevayanisu. So, and Muda Janmani Janmani. Lord is actually telling out of compassion. He's not telling that you will go, because he's telling, he's addressing the tendency there. He's not addressing you don't come to me, I'll show you. No, Lord is telling, oh, this tendency is wrong. That is actually making you go in wrong direction. But as such is very neutral. Yathaman prapadyante. And when Arjuna asked in 17th chapter also, okay, what about people who have faith but they don't worship you? Lord is not telling, oh, I don't worship me, na, I'll show. No, he's telling, no. He is telling, if you live in mode of goodness, see, very important point. If you live in mode of goodness, you will be elevated. You may be devotee of any demigod. You have a life of, you may be following not even demigod, your Islam or Christianity. If you live a life of Sattva you are elevated. This is the point Lord is telling. So it's a scientific, it's not like if you go to any other, some other religious books, they are very fanatic. They say, if not me, finish. You are doomed to hell. Bhagavad Gita is not like that. It's a very scientific presentation. So here, very, very science. The three modes of nature, it's such a wonderful way to present the philosophy, and which is not available in any other religion. Only this is unique to Bhagavad Gita. Three modes of mental nature may give answer for many, many questions, which and also makes very, very broad-minded and accommodative. Why Sanatan Dharma is very accommodative? This is one of the reasons, because we accept this concept of three modes of nature. We say, yeah, these people are in Sattva so they worship this, they are in Rajoguna, they worship this, Tamoguna, they worship this. That means because of the taste, they are like that. So here, what I want to tell is that the faith is there, the starting point is zero one. Here, the Supreme Lord, He is having all the emotions. And that's why we are also developing that emotions. He has a desire to fight, we have a desire to fight. Because we start from one. Lord is creating now. So he is starting, so we also have. But now here, if you start from zero, nothing is there and suddenly emotions are coming. They cannot answer the questions. No answer. Where the emotions are coming, no answer. But for us, answer is there. Yes, Supreme Lord. Then, with his mace, the Lord struck the enemy on the right of his bow. But since the demon was expert in fighting on O gentle Vidra, he protected himself by maneuvering over his of his own mace. So Hiranyaksha also was given sufficient intelligence strength so that he can really give a good fight for the Lord. Otherwise, it's so boring, if you the enemy is weak, like we are fighting with an ant. What is a fight with an ant or a rat? It's just one blow finish. But Lord want to have really some tough time. In this way, the demon Hiranyaksha and the Lord, the personality of God, had struck each other with large, huge maces, each enraged and seeking his own victory. Hiranyaksha. Haryaksha is another name of Hiranyaksha, the demon. Then the Maitreya says that there was keen rivalry between the two combatants. Both had sustained injuries on their bodies, that is, and blows of each other's pointed mace, and each grew more and more enraged at the smell of blood of his person. Can you imagine how much Hiranyaksha was working very hard? And it's not some few hours, it's quite a big battle because it is according the calculation of demigods they are fighting. They are not fighting our calculations. That's why it's quite a big match. And in their eagerness to win, they performed maneuvers of various kinds, and their contest looks like a encounter between two powerful bulls for the sake of a cow. This cow is Mother Earth here. And this is a very nice work. And when Bhishma was also piercing Lord Krishna's body with his arrows, there was blood coming out from there. Do Jai Vijay desire question in the chat box? Desire to fight with Lord. That's why this all happened. Yes, yes, they want to give pleasure to the Lord. That's why it is happening. Here the earth is called Ila. This earth was formerly known as Ilavata and when Maharaj Parikshit ruled the earth, it was called Bharatavarsha. Actually, Bharatavarsha is named for the entire planet, but gradually Bharatavarsha came, Bharatavarsha has come to mean India. As India has recently been divided into Pakistan and Hindustan, similarly, the earth was formerly called Ilavata. But gradually, as time passed, it was divided by many national boundaries. The whole earth is Ilavata. After King Bharata started ruling, and Prabhupada writing on Parikshit rule, it was called. Before that, also, it was Bharatavarsha, Bharatkhandi. After Bharat ruled, because he was so powerful that the demigods acknowledged him that, oh, this is the kingdom ruled by Bharata because he's so powerful. So they started, instead of telling Ilavata oh, they said, oh, this is the kingdom ruled by Bharata. And then it became Bharata like that. Or descendant of Kuru, Brahma, the most independent demigod of the universe, accompanied by his followers, came to see the terrible fight for the sake of the world between the demons and the personality of Godhead, who appeared in the form of a boar. Now, when Brahman coming and watching means it must be quite long. This is nice purport. Prabhupada, the fight between the Lord, Supreme Personality of God, and the demon is compared to the fight between the bulls for the sake of a cow. That planet is also called Go or cow, as bulls fight between themselves to ascertain who will have union with a cow. There is always a constant fight between the demons and the Supreme Lord or his representative for the supremacy over the earth. Now the demons are conquering the earth. The whole earth is controlled by demons only now because their time is Kali Yuga. So that's why. Till Parikshit Maharaj and his son, it was okay. After that, slowly, slowly, demons came into power. And that is natural because it's a time. Lord favors Sattva but Lord also according to time. So he allows Kali Yuga also because demons have a desire to control. Lord says, okay, all your desires fulfilled in Kali Yuga. Only some demons are allowed in other yugas, but rest of the time it's all the demons of the the demons are mostly allowed in Kali Yuga to rule. So when the demons are born in the families of Brahmanas in Kali Yuga, so that they can control in terms of all these IAS, IPS officers. They are IAS officers, they are Brahmana intelligence. So all these scientists, they have Brahmana intelligence, but they are demons only. That is the problem. They they actually give all this intelligence to the Vaishyas and Kshatriyas so that they can exploit the resources and exploit the people of this world. How did these politicians or these people get the intelligence? They get from these bureaucrats who are like almost Brahmana intelligence. So the point is, they are actually the demons in Kali Yuga. So Lord allows them, okay, this is your time, enjoy. And but somehow some people they have demonic mentality. They come in Kali Yuga, and suddenly because of great Vaishnavas, they come. They say, oh, they feel very compassionate, so they come there. And now we are also born, and with others, normally the demons are born. All these people, and because of association of great Vaishnavas, we change. So all these great Vaishnavas, they mostly try to come in Kali Yuga because they know most of the people are very affected by this, and there will be some innocent people who by mistake they appeared in Kali Yuga, like all of us. And to protect us, Prabhupada and Acharyas come. They write books, they preach, they try to deliver us. Otherwise, this is not the time for good people to stay. And so Lord favors the time. So here also, the Lord is, that means Lord is not partial. This is most important thing. Lord is favoring Sattva who are in Sattva they get the benefit of Lord's mercy, and Lord also allows the time. The Lord is significantly described as Agneshwara. One should not consider Lord to have the body of an ordinary boar. He can assume any form, and he possesses all such forms eternally. It is from him that all other forms have emanated. This is very important. So that from him only. This boar form is not to be considered the form of an ordinary hog. His body is actually full of yajna or worshipful offerings. Yajna, sacrifice are offered to Vishnu. Yajna means the body of Vishnu. His body is not material, therefore, he should not be taken to be an ordinary boar. So, if you remember the previous section when boar came, when from the nostrils of Brahma, the Swayambhu Manvantara, he is Yajnamurti. And the how it is Yajna, it is very nicely described. His eyes and his mouth and his hairs, how each represents a different aspect of Yajna. So he is the Yajnamurti. So this is one of the most important form of Lord. Why yajna? To give us proper happiness. Like if father is there in the house, he keeps some rules in the house so that the children follow the rules and they be happy. Similarly, say the traffic rules and some rules are there by the government and it wants that there is you should not put garbage here and there. You need to put in a proper place. You need to follow some rules, and you cannot just you have to take the park your cars and so many other rules for the society. You cannot keep loud noise and so many things are there. Now by following the rules, what happens, you can have a peaceful living. So this yajna is for peaceful living in this world. If you don't follow, you get punished, but following you may not get benefited. Like say if I follow traffic rules, if I don't follow traffic rules, I am punished. But if I follow, nobody will come and give me a medal. You follow traffic rules. That means what? What is uh, the point here is the Lord created a system. So the system of yajna is to help a living entities to live peacefully and happily in this world. Brahma is described in this verse as Swarat. Actually, full independence is exclusive to the Lord Himself, but as a part and parcel of Supreme Lord, every living entity has a minute quantity of independence. Each and every one of the living entities within this universe has its minute independence, but Brahma, being the chief of all living entities, have a great potential of independence than any other. He is the representative of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and has been assigned to preside over universal affairs. All other demigods work for him. Therefore, he is described here as Swarat. He is always accompanied by great sages and transcendentalists, all of whom come to see the bullfight between the demons and the Lord. So, this is nice point Prabhupada is trying to make, that we are not independent. Of course, in this world we can understand Lord gives some freedom for devotees because they don't misuse their freedom. But still they are dependent on Lord's energy only. They cannot perform in it. Even in spiritual world also the living entities, they are fully free. And with the help of Yoga Maya, they do service to the Lord. In the material world, we are controlled by Mahamaya. No freedom also. Even if some freedom is there, it is very limited. But for Brahma and some living entities who are creating this universe and doing so many things, Lord gives them so much freedom. He says, okay, do whatever you want. So that's why they are, in that way, they are Swarat. They are free. And like, see, even the house also, if father sees that son is responsible, he give freedom. So initially, when they are in school times, they have to take permission to go. When they come to college, they get some freedom. They can do whatever little bit they want. Once they get a job, then they're completely free. Father cannot say anything. So they get freedom. This is after arriving at a place of combat. Brahma, the leader of thousands of sages and transcendentalists, saw the demon who had attained such unprecedented powers that no one could fight with him. Brahma then addressed Narayana, who was assumed the form of boar for the first time. First time means he did already in Swayambhu Manvantara. Now this is Chakshusha Manvantara. Lord Brahma said, my dear Lord, this demon has proven to be a constant pinprick to the demigods, the brahmanas, the cows, the innocent persons who are spotless and always dependent upon worshipping your lotus feet. He has become a source of fear by unnecessarily harassing them. Since he has attained a boon from me, he has become a demon, always searching for a proper combat, wandering all over the universe for his infamous purpose. So, demons, this is very interesting. They want power and they want independence. It is not possible in this world. Power and independence, they are very dangerous. If we are not having proper state of consciousness, we are not devotees of the Lord. Both independence is dangerous, power is more dangerous, and we need to properly utilize. Like Brahma has so much power, but he's such a nice person. Can you imagine if Brahma is like any of our politicians of modern times? How much he will do and what all things he will do. So Lord will not allow somebody like that. Very, very compassionate person, very, very dharmic person, very, very principled person. He has followed all these things for 100 lifetimes. After thoroughly testing, then Lord says, okay, this person is fit. 100 lifetimes he lived such a pure, dharmic life without any mistakes. He said, yes, now I'm sure that he'll not make any mistakes of exploiting. And still, by mistake, Brahma ran behind his daughter. But because he has so much power to do so much in this creation, he is always careful. He never misses because everything is for his enjoyment only because he is creating. Brahma can just sit and be peaceful and relax and enjoy. No, he is just working very hard for the deliverance and well-being of all living entities. So this is a very nice job. Like if we have so many, if somebody is a prime minister, president of a country, and if he's very, very good, it is safe for the citizens. Otherwise, now what is happening in the present scenario, the whole world is like the people who are, there's so much exploitation. People are feeling so much the rates of the things they work very hard and hard earned money there too, and with that so much money they get very little. The food is very expensive, the stay is very expensive, transport is expensive, everything is expensive. Very, but nobody cannot, that's helpless actually, because it's all because of the leader. And but Brahma, such leaders like Brahma, they fail. And now, if you are a Brahma, is there, why is not doing anything for people on earth and especially for us? He could have done something for people on earth, Brahma. Yes, they can do. All the demigods also can do. But the point here, the time is Kali Yuga. So they also are waiting. He said, now we can also not do anything. Even if you want to do, like Brahma can create, earth also, it's not that earth can create unlimited amount of grains. Earth can give unlimited amount of minerals and it can give unlimited resources, pearls, jewels, gold, everything unlimitedly earth can give. Why she is holding back? Because even if we get unlimitedly, say now if I get some nice good money, 100 crores, then tomorrow onwards there is very less chance that I'll sit and give class because I'll be worried about what to do with this money. This is actually why we don't get. And it is, of course, many of you, most of you, you are all, almost all of you are, you will not get affected. But people like me who are weak, they will definitely get affected. So that's the reason. If you give more resources, Kali Yuga people, na, they exploit more. The Lord also, the demigods also cannot do anything. Mother Earth also cannot do because the mentality of people is very wrong. If you have a child, like now, many Amrish Ford, this proper disciple, he tells that many of his relatives, their children, because they got so much wealth from childhood, they are born in a very rich family. Many of them got spoiled because not only there, anywhere, many people they get spoiled, the rich people. Very few people who are very pious, they remain good. Otherwise, in general, they are all spoiled. Because Kali Yuga, if you give so much money, and what people will do, if you get more money, they'll sit in front of TV, they go for bars, they go for pubs, they go for all sorts of wrong things here. And that's actually what happens. Very, very uh, uh, dangerous scenario. And we see here, there are two classes of living entities. One called Suras, or the demigods, and another called Asuras, or the demons. The demons are generally fond of worshipping the demigods, and there are evidence that by such worship they get extensive power for their sense gratifications. This later proves to be a cause of trouble to the Brahmanas, demigods, and other innocent living entities. Demons habitually find faults with demigods, Brahmanas, and innocent to whom they are a constant source of fear. The way a demon is to take power from the way the demon is to take power from the demigods and then attack the demigods themselves. There is an instant of great devotee of Lord Shiva who obtained a boon from Lord Shiva that the head of whomever he touches with his hand would come off his trunk. As soon as the boon was offered to him, the demon wanted to touch the Lord, thus the very head of Lord Shiva. That is their way. The devotees of Supreme Personality of God do not, however, ask any favor for sense gratification. Even if they are offered liberation, they refuse it. They are happy simply engaging in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. And this is a very nice point that Prabhupada is trying to explain that the demons they worship the demigods and then they get great powers for sense gratification. And then they don't care who gave the power. Now I got it, forget about it. And this is actually normally also in this world, if people take help from others, they don't acknowledge, they don't feel grateful. Oh, I have taken help from these people, I should remember them. Many people they forget only what help they received, who helped them. It does not bother them after some time. They just want to just live like that. This is the demonic mentality. And many people, they actually, gratitude will make a person grow very fast in their spiritual life, and they can be very happy also. But this is very unfortunate situation. We'll just take this last verse for today. Lord Brahma continued, My dear Lord, there is no need to play with this serpentine demon who is always very skilled in conjuring tricks and is arrogant, self sufficient, and most wicked. And Prabhupada writes, No one is unhappy when a serpent is killed. This is Prahlad's story. It is practiced among village boys to catch a serpent by the tail and play with it for some time, then kill it. Similar to the laws they do for scorpions. Anyway. This is a very common play in the villages. Scorpions they tied. Similar, the Lord could also kill the demon at once, but he played with him in the same way as a child plays with a snake before killing it. Brahma requested, however, that since the demon was being wicked and undesirable, that a serpent, there is no need to play with him. It was his wish that he be killed at once without delay. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions, comments? We'll end here. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam.